Hey, what's up everybody? It's a pretty busy weekend with a lot of different fighting game news going on, and you have probably heard that there's a pretty large patch for Tuco. Public enemy number 1 is on the screen. First and foremost, they say that they want to make some changes to Juggernaut. Overall super meter gain is higher in Juggernaut, right? Push block does not use break meter. It used to be infinite. You could just push block 19 times in a row, but now instead you can use it and it's on a normal cooldown instead of just taking your break gauge. But break gain when hitting an opponent has been reduced by 50% when using Juggernaut, which is nice for them. And attacks can be dash canceled by spending 30% break meter with Juggernaut. So this is the Fury dash cancel you get basically, except you can do it whenever you want now, as long as you have break gauge, which is a pretty big deal. And they also changed snap a little bit. I don't know how much people use that. Same thing with sidekick. So these are the two like non-multi-character fuses, and they both got buffs. So super meter gain has been increased in sidekick. Point champion can move during the super, which is a huge buff. It doesn't cause scaling as much now when the assist character hits, and push block pushes both characters when using sidekick. So these are huge changes to both of the solo only fuses in the game, and they're really strong. I would be shocked if these fuses were not much better and like a lot more viable to play at different levels. Their goal was basically to make it so that Juggernaut is not as oppressive at new levels of play, but is a little bit more usable once you get beyond just like the absolute new player stuff. And I think that they definitely did that. Freestyle, which is the best fuse in the game at a super high level. I really like some of the changes of this. I really don't like a few of them. Overall break meter gain has been reduced by 35% using Freestyle, i.e. you're down approximately 1 extra burst. I don't really like this change, to be honest with you. I feel like this is kind of arbitrary. It's basically the fighting game equivalent of like, oh no, a character's too good, let's like lower their health. The other changes I think are cool though, which is hitting an assist in Freestyle now gives the assist a 6-second cooldown. This is a big nerf to Freestyle. It basically means every time you call an assist, you need to cover the assist or you have terrible cooldown recovery. 6 seconds is brutal. Freestyle tag can no longer be immediately used after break, and push block, which I think are fine changes. And the big window has been reduced by 20 frames. It was 80 frames and now it's down to 60. So it'll be worse at doing long pressure sequences, and it will be worse at baiting break. So I think these are like pretty good nerfs to Freestyle. I think in general, this fuse should be the strongest. Lots of characters in the game don't have abilities to use double down and 2x very well, so they need to default to Freestyle. And the game, I think, feels a little bit less precise and a little bit more spammy when 2x is the best fuse. So I think Freestyle needs to remain a good option. I do wonder if like this change just feels overly punishing. When like, let's say I just like in full screen, I call a projectile assist, I backdash, and then my assist just gets hit by their projectile, and now I have a 6-second lockout in neutral. If 2x assist gives me like better burst coverage, better lockdown pressure because I get to use 2 assists, and has a shorter assist cooldown, do I really have a lot of value in calling my assists in Freestyle and stuff? I kind of think the other changes, the bottom 3 changes here around break, push block, and the timing of Freestyle are very good. I don't know about the top 2. Assist changes. Players can no longer handshake tag to assist champions after they block an attack. This does not apply in the following situations if you perform a push block or break. Same thing with no longer perform a second assist after blocking an attack with 2x, and performing a low attack, you can now parry tagged out attacks while standing and crouching. Great system changes. One thing about this game is sometimes you'll run up to somebody, you'll do light, medium, heavy, special on block. There's a gap in the heavy to special, and then you tag to your other character who's sitting on the screen. You're mashing tag during block stun. This gets rid of a lot of the really ugly scenarios where that was an option on block. I really wish Tokon had this. They also changed the dash buffer a little bit so that the dash OS is no longer in the game, and you can no longer dash cancel wake up attack, which is a pretty big deal. Throw tech also pushes you further away, so you're not always in range for a medium after, which I think is a really nice change for it. And then they had a bunch of bug fixes for stuff. Now let's talk about the character changes. Ahri, she got her ass beat. I think most people agree that she's the strongest character in the game, and I don't think it's by like an extreme amount. In fact, I think by the end of the patch, I started to think Thresh was maybe even better than her. They nerfed every aspect of this character. Her grounded light has less vertical hitbox and also is worse on block. So worse for staggers. Same thing with her crouching light is now worse on block, worse for staggers. 2M now has worse startup. Her grounded heavy goes less far and is also slower. And the recovery on her S1 has been increased by 4 frames. So it's now worse in neutral as well. So they nerfed her neutral. Her stagger pressure is worse. Neutral buttons on her mediums are worse. They also made it so that S1 is now easier to counterplay. So if you parry it, you can swing with the medium button or jump and air to air her. I think this is a great change. Same change with her S1 super. They make it so that it has less block stun so you can challenge more often. So the startup change to S1 is slower, and the projectile now travels a little faster to compensate, so you can do some combos and stuff with it. S2 is now worse on block. It pushes you further away when blocked in the corner, and you can no longer cancel grounded S2 into S1 or down S1 unless the final hit makes contact. So she's committed when she does this. You do S2, and if you're mid-screen, someone can just like retreating guard and then dash up and punish this. And same thing with this change here for this S1 super. I don't really personally like this S2 change that much and the fireball change, because if she does light, medium, heavy on block, what does she cancel into now? Spirit Rush away and then throw a fireball, but they also nerfed that as well. Distance on Spirit Rush is worse. And then the S1 knockback distic has been reduced. They basically made it so that you can't run away as easily with it or approach as easily with it. On top of, hello, Ro. How are you, my boy? On top of some other changes to her aerial normals, they nerfed all of her air normals as well for the most part. Worse hitbox size, midair H has much worse hitbox size. Midair H knocks them further back. So if you air to air with jump H and you try to air dash, it's a worse mix up. Air fireball travel distance is less. The hurtbox size in the fireball is much bigger. The knockback distance has been decreased, so you can combo off it a little bit easier. Our down S1 hurtbox side has been increased, and knockback has also changed as well. And her up Spirit Rush knockback on block a little closer, so you can punish her better. They also nerfed her damage. Down H, her anti-air has been nerfed as well. The pushback on all her normals is a little lower to make it so she can anti-air a little bit easier. Her dart also doesn't automatically meaty after S2 in the corner anymore. It shoots a little faster and it travels a little faster, so you can no longer jump and cross up as easily. You can still do some mix-ups with it, but they nerfed that. Then they also nerfed her assist. Her forward assist has more startup frame. It goes less size. It has a bigger hurt box. They nerfed her tag launcher by making it a frame slower. They made it so that her throw combos also scale much more severely now. Really don't like this change, to be honest with you. I think the idea of like her throw being weak by itself without coverage and being like better if she has coverage is like a unique thing about her, because now she just has a bad throw and it's bad if you tag off of it. She also generates too much super meter, so they nerfed her super meter build on a bunch of different things, made it so that Spirit Rush now hits in front instead of behind, so it doesn't trade and get bad stuff. So lots of nerfs. They basically nerfed every single aspect of the character. They nerfed her damage, they nerfed her meter build, they nerfed her pressure, they nerfed her Oki, they nerfed her staggers, they nerfed her hitboxes on the ground, they nerfed her safety in the air, they nerfed her cancel options on block, they nerfed her mix-up options when air to airing, they made her tag launcher worse, they made her fireballs worse. As someone who, I really like this character, you guys know, and I've been talking about how good she is for a long time. I really wanted to see nerfs to her Oki. And I really wanted to see nerfs to her fireballs, which I felt were really non-committal. All of the nerfs to everything else to me are pretty wild. I'm shocked that they hit this character so hard, especially given that there are other characters that were pretty close to her power level, I think, that are the same this patch. It's pretty crazy. Akali. So Akali this patch got very little changes. It basically, her S2 hits characters a little bit better, doing cross-up and stuff like that. This character is nerfed quite a bit this patch, actually. Freestyle got nerfed, and she's basically non-functional and double down in 2x, which is another reason why I mentioned nerfing Freestyle is important, because Ahri is only a Freestyle character, basically, so Freestyle getting nerfed nerfs her as well. And this character definitely took a big hit this patch, because her best partner is Ahri, who got nerfed a lot. Her best fuse is Freestyle, which got nerfed a lot. You know, she's probably like still playable this patch, but I think she will definitely feel worse, actually, even though she got a bug fix and some small buffs. Blitzcrank got some really nice buffs, honestly. So one thing is when you're tagging into Blitz in and out, they made it so that when you pull in, you can hit your options a little faster, so that pulling in is a little bit more consistent for combos, which is really nice. You also gain more steam off of a bunch of stuff, so you gain more steam off of command grab when you use it in combos, which is really nice. The recovery on midair S1 is better, so you can like now do better combos after using air S1 or grounded S1, which is really nice. And also the super now always performs a ground bounce, so you can do like cool double down combos. They made kind of the same change with Alawi as well. Blitzcrank also has some new combos off S1, where you can do like S1, knock them up, medium, heavy into a bunch of stuff, or like combos with assist more simply as well. But it's got a lot of buffs. I think this character will feel a lot better this patch. This is really nice stuff. Braum lost down S2 being a low. It was like the last low fireball in the game, but they made the block stun a little bit better as well, which is nice. That is a nerf. And also S1 super now instantly dissipates faster when you parry it. So Caitlyn got no changes, mostly bug fixes. Darius got more damage on his tackle, which is a universal change they made for some of the big characters, and his back assist as well. And then his down assist, now you can always combo off of it. It doesn't just like auto tech out at the end of combos. So you can do like super high skill combo, super assist, right? And then at the end, like do another move to like, you know, put them in a tumble state, tag launcher or limit strike or whatever. So that's pretty nice. Echo got no major changes, just something with running H to make it a little easier to do follow-ups. Alawi got a couple of nerfs and a few buffs. So the S1 super buff for double down is really nice, I think. Her jabs are worse. And then they also made it so that her crouching medium has more recovery, and her command grab has less active frames and has more recovery, which are really nice changes. I think these are great nerfs for her. They also made it so that you can't like call and do team stuff during the command grab, which kind of puts it in line with the other command grabs in the game. They also made it so that tentacles go away if the point champion gets hit, which I think is a big deal. They also nerfed her assist a little bit and made it slower and have a little less hit stun on it. So decent changes to this character. I think she'll still be one of the better characters in the game, but I think some of these were pretty necessary. She's been very good for a long time. Jinx didn't get much. Senna got a lot of really nice buffs. They made it so that she has better movement, better run momentum when canceling into attacks, better backdash speed, better walk speed. They buffed her light and made it better. They made her M better, have a better hitbox, sending M moves you forward a little bit more. 2M now has an additional hitbox near the foot. Down H hitbox has been increased so she can combo off it a little bit more easy. Wraith form, H first hit downward size. This was whiffing on characters in the corner, so that got fixed. Mid-air jump M is better as well. S1 has one less recovery, so that when you cancel into it or you do combos out of it, it's a little bit better. Down S1 does more damage, like a lot more damage, which makes her combos do way more damage. This is a really nice buff. Her grounded block stun on all her fireballs is better, right? And S1 into S2 is now safe on block, so she has another cancel that she can do. Her super is a little bit more safe, which is probably not going to come up that much, but it's nice. S1 super now gives her Oki easier, which is really cool, and you can combo off of it better. And then her assist does more damage. I think she's going to feel a lot better this patch. Teemo just got like buffs to his combo consistency basically on a bunch of different moves, and they made him a little taller. They said you must be this tall to ride this ride, so stuff didn't whiff on him as much. Teemo is like a top 3 or 4 character in the game, and he didn't get nerfs. I'm gonna keep scrolling on that note. Thresh, the best character or second best character in the game in this patch. They gave him some buffs, which are HH can now be canceled into Lantern Tag, back or forward heavy as well, which is really nice. And then they made his S1 super do more damage because they nerfed like his damage on other parts of his kit, so they're changing it around a little bit. His nerfs are his down H charge, minimum damage scaling is reduced, so you can no longer do like charge hook after into forward H. He now has to do like charge hook into immediate jump forward H. Mid-air H hitbox has been reduced. Hurt box size is bigger, pushes them further away on block. They just nerfed jump H a bit. And then his lantern blast, the S2 hold move, minimum damage has been reduced, and damage that it did before was crazy. It was 150 damage. Minimum it could do is 75. Just unchecked, just doosh, 2 or 3 times in a combo meant that he was insane. They said we want Thresh to be a high damage character, but you know, it's a little too crazy. So they kind of worked on that a little bit. Vi got some really nice changes. Her S1 super breaks armor. Her fully charged S1 breaks armor. Nice, pretty niche, but cool. Her forward assist is easier to combo off of. Really nice. The damage is higher. Really nice. Insanely nice buffs to footwork. L hit stun on grounded hits has been increased by 2 frames. You can now combo grounded hit stun from sway light into sway heavy right away. It's also better on airborne opponents as well for her different charge ones. So when she gets air hits now, she can now do sway light, sway charge medium. This is something I've been asking for since the first time I ever played this character. Her conversions off air hits are so cheeks before this, and this is such an insanely nice buff. The Wick, he got a bunch of buffs. His H pushes back less now, so he can do LMH charged leap into M follow-up on every character now, except for Alawi. I saw for some reason it whiffs on her when crouching. I don't know why. And Charge Primal Leap has a better hitbox and has less knockbacks. So you can combo off it more consistently, which is really nice. And S1 recovery is a little lower, so that you can now combo into forward S2 a little easier. Sometimes there's weird stuff, it doesn't happen. His assist does more damage, and it's easier to combo off of as well. It hits them less far back, which is nice. Easier to anti-air when he does Demon Flip. Yasuo got some buffs as well. Grounded M has more block stun. It consistently blocks stuns in a grounded H. S1 is a little bit more consistent when doing it in the corner and stuff like that in the air. Super assist got buffed. They made it a little bit easier to combo off of. They made it more consistent off stuff like that. Cross up now keeps you closer consistently, which I'm pretty sure means that he can do cross up into stance M right away more often instead of having to do stance L. So this probably is better for his conversions off that. Really nice changes for him. And then they announced some skins. I think really, really, really good patch overall. The only thing for me is I think they maybe did a little too much with Freestyle. I think the Ahri changes look barbaric. They did so much to the character, and I understand nerfing her because I think she did need nerfs, but if we're nerfing so much of the kit, like where is she meant to still have high power level, and how is she gonna feel? Her grounded block strings, especially mid-screen, were already not great, and they nerfed them. And then they nerfed her Oki, they nerfed her damage, they nerfed her meter build, they nerfed so many aspects of the character, and they nerfed Freestyle, which is her only fuse kind of, to be honest. So if this patch is a 2x assist patch, where 2x assist is a lot better, then characters who utilize that better are really good. Her and Yasuo and Akali are characters who don't really take advantage of non-freestyle fuses very well, so it's a pretty big nerf to them. This patch, I think the best 2 characters in the game are probably Teemo and Thresh. I think probably Echo's up there, and then maybe like Jinx or something. What's gonna happen now? They thrashed Ahri and like nerfed every single aspect of the character's kit, and then what are people gonna say now? Which is, where's the Thresh nerfs? Where's the Teemo nerfs? And then it's gonna be Echo, and then it's, you know, they're gonna go crazy. But I'm shocked that they didn't nerf Teemo or Thresh very hard in this patch, and I think those characters are going to be pretty crazy. And I think Ahri is probably a lot worse. You know, that's the intention. I guess I can wait 5 weeks until maybe she gets something else, but god damn, they beat her ass. I imagine this patch will feel a lot better overall in terms of variety. I think 2x assist is going to be really good, and I think a lot of characters will be more viable. I do think you're going to see a lot of like 2x Jinx, Thresh, Teemo, Senna, that kind of stuff this patch I think will be a lot better. I think Vi's gonna feel a lot better this patch, and I think Ahri, I don't know where she's gonna end up on the tier list. She's probably still a pretty good character, but damn. All right, so that's patch notes. Hopefully that was a decent summary, and I'll catch you guys soon. I can't wait to try it. After this Tokon beta weekend, I'm gonna boot up some 2x, give the game a feel, and then get some gaming. So I'll catch you guys there. Peace.